obligations, has good cause connected with the work to quit. The claimant had family obligations that conflicted with the schedule change the employer decided to make. Pursuant to the cited precedent, the claimant should not be disqualified under section 207.045 of the Act. Reverse AT, no voluntary leaving chargeback.
Affirm the AT, voluntary leaving, no chargeback.
Short form dissent.
I have your short form dissent. That is the last of the cases on docket 38. You should have received the short form list for the remaining cases to be voted on docket 38.
I move to accept staff recommendations on the remaining UI cases on docket 38.
I second the motion except for those cases of which I'm dissenting as reflected on the UI short form dissent list for docket 38.
And I concur with the chairman's motion, except for the cases on which I'm dissenting is reflected in the UI short form dissent list for docket 38.
The motion passes with the exceptions known. We're going to take a short break.
Thank you.
All right, this is agenda item 8, acceptance of a donation from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. For the record, Reagan Miller with the Child Care and Early Learning Division. This morning for your consideration, we have a $160,000 donation from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to support an analysis of the Texas early childhood data landscape. As we previously briefed your offices, the interagency early childhood agencies have been working together to examine the possible creation of an early childhood integrated data system, or ECIDS. These types of systems coordinate early childhood data that is collected across multiple state agencies who are all serving young children, but who have independent data systems. And ECIDS makes it possible to integrate and report information from early childhood programs across multiple agencies. The donation from Gates Foundation will assist with an analysis of the early childhood data landscape in Texas, with this work being carried out by Third Sector Intelligence, or 3SI, and again in support of the interagency exploration of an ECIDS. The notebook item contains the grant agreement between the Gates Foundation and 3SI. We want to note that only the $160,000 within this larger grant agreement is being donated. And that concludes my remarks.
Any comments or questions?
None here, Chairman.
None.
Do we have a motion?
Chairman, I move that we approve, acknowledge, and accept a gift or donation of $160,000 in value given from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to the Texas Workforce Commission to analyze the early childhood data landscape in Texas as discussed by staff.
Second.
So moved and seconded, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is agenda item 9, Rider 36, Business Enterprises of Texas Customer Satisfaction Survey and Cost Analysis Report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Alvarez, Commissioner Demerson, and Mr. Cerna. For the record, Jennifer Kohlhauer, Interim Director of Business Enterprises of Texas Vocational Rehabilitation Division. Commissioners, before you today, for your consideration for approval is the BET Customer Satisfaction Survey and Cost Analysis Report to the Governor and LBB pursuant to TWC Rider 36 as part of TWC performance reporting for the 22-23 biennium. The survey covers state host agencies' satisfaction of operational conditions such as pricing requirements, hours of operations, menu items, and product lines for cafeterias, snack bars, and convenience stores located in state agency buildings. This year's survey was conducted from June 6th to June 30th, 2022, and received 615 responses. Of note, more than 89% of all respondents use the services that BET managers offer in the workplace. About 60% of respondents agree that healthy food options and prices are good, and 80% of respondents agreed the quality of food was 3 stars or better. 87% agreed the quality of service 3 stars or better, and 88% of respondents feel comfortable eating in BET facilities. Staff is seeking Commission's approval of this year's annual report for submission to the governor and the LBB, and permission to make non-substantive corrections to the final formatting of the report. That concludes my presentation.
Any comments or questions?
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you. A lot of positive responses.
Pardon me?
A lot of positive responses. The percentages are very
Oh.
high.
Yeah, thank you.
So according to my records, I don't have a record of you having presented before the commission before. Is that correct?
It's been years,
But like during my tenure.
like decades.
I mean, I have no
I
record
think
of
my daughter, who's a sophomore in college, was 3 at the time.
3 years old. I'd say that, then no, you haven't really presented in front of the commission. So on page 36, line 7 of the report, I'm kidding. Do we have a motion?
Chairman, I move that we approve Business Enterprises of Texas Customer Satisfaction Survey and Cost Analysis Report 2022 for submission to the governor and the Legislative Budget Board as recommended by staff.
Second.
It's been moved to second, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is agenda item 13, board nominations.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, and Mr. Schneider. For the record, Cherie Dudley with the Workforce Development Division. Today, for your consideration, we have Workforce Board nominations for South Texas, Middle Rio Grande, Panhandle, and Permian Basin. Staff recommends approval on the presented nominees, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any comments or questions?
And none here, Chairman.
None.
Is there a motion?
I move to approve the board nominees for South Texas, Middle Rio Grande, Panhandle, and Permian Basin.
Second.
Been moved to second, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a legislative person moving back here, like there's a legislative report.
Chris.
Mr. Cerna was giving me the no, we don't have a legislative report signal. But you clearly disagree, Christopher. So why don't you come up here and talk to us about what's on your mind?
I was waiting for my number and name to be called. Good morning, Chairman Daniel, Commissioner Alvarez, Commissioner Demerson, and Mr. Cerna. For the record, I'm Christopher Grunning with Government Relations. GR is monitoring one federal hearing this week. Tomorrow, the U.S. House Education and Labor Subcommittee on Health, Employment, Labor, and Pensions will be holding a hearing to examine the administration of the unemployment insurance system. Additionally, current federal government funding expires next Friday, September 30th. Congressional leaders are in negotiations regarding a continuing resolution to extend funding, and that is expected to be considered before the end of the month. We will update your offices as soon as an agreement has been reached. Regarding the state legislature, TWC's joint budget hearing has been scheduled for Wednesday, September 28, 2022 at 1 p.m. Mr. Cerna and Chris Nelson will be testifying at this hearing on behalf of TWC. This concludes my remarks, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any comments or questions?
None here, Chairman.
None.
Thanks, sir.
Of course.
An executive director's report. Not today. Is there any other order of business coming before the commission?
Chairman, if I may, I just wanted to, if you haven't had a chance to see this morning's Rio Grande Guardian, it's a blog in the Rio Grande Valley. Governor was sent out a press release acknowledging the value of apprenticeship and some of the strides that have been made. Again, I would like to thank Desi and her team for that. He acknowledged Norma, who's going through a superintendent's program, a mother, single mother, who went through the program and successfully completed it through the assistance of South Texas College, which, by the way, we will be hosting, the agency will be hosting the 6th annual Apprenticeship Conference. And I will tell you that this conference continues to get better and better, and I'm very excited of the speakers that have been asked to present at this year's conference. And I'm grateful to the governor and his team for acknowledging the great work that not only the Texas Workforce Commission is doing, but all the colleges and employers to expand apprenticeship programs. just this week, we had an opportunity, I should say, last week as well. We met with Boeing to look at their workforce needs and how we could implement apprenticeship programs there. And yesterday we were at Southwest Institute with the help of Christy Cavanis, and Sonia and Desi were all there as well. And so we also would like to acknowledge Adrian Lopez for the great work he's doing in expanding this program. I mean, we're in space now. I mean, we've been in space, and now to be working with the Southwest Research Institute, that's a great thing. We had an opportunity to visit what they're doing with NASA and again, Boeing, some of the planes and fighter planes that they're working on. It was a big treat. And to know that the students that we're going to be assisting are going to go through these programs, certainly, it's certainly gratifying. And it makes me feel really good that the agency has been able to support these types of programs. So I look forward to seeing many of you at the Apprenticeship Summit. And again, I want to take this opportunity to thank Carrie Ballas, Desi Holmes, and of course, everyone who's been involved in expanding apprenticeship programs. And who knows, pretty soon we're going to have that apprenticeship nurse that's going to be approved. We got great momentum going forward. And so we're just waiting for Department of Labor to see what we can do to approve those standards. Hopefully we'll get something approved soon. That's all I got.
Commissioner Alvarez, good work in that regard. The Apprenticeship Conference that's taking place on the 22nd and 23rd, when that was mentioned in the agency, is putting it on. We're looking at an internship conference, and we decided to do that on the 21st, the day before. And so we're going to be in the Valley, with what I have termed the Rally in the Valley. And so on the 21st, we'll be doing our Texas Interns Unite Rally in the Valley program in Brownsville, both Workforce Solution of Cameron County and also the Workforce Solutions Office, Pat Hobbs and Francisco. How do you say Frank? Francisco, Frank and his team are helping out in that regard. And so we're looking forward to an exciting event, have a dynamic lineup, and appreciate the support of the agency and the team in that regard. Last night, I also had an opportunity to attend the Artie Lee Hines Award ceremony. I met Ed there as well, and then Kelvin and Juan and Marie were out there as well. Just a phenomenal program, and I guess you guys have participated in those programs, and you see the benefit of a nonprofit organization, those CRPs really standing up opportunities for folks to go to work. It means a lot for those individuals, and I was touched by what was happening with those individuals. We had the keynote speaker was Josh from our conference last year, and so he was actually attending there. And Judy Maggio, the MC, said she had never been to an event where she both laughed and cried so much as a result of what was happening there. But it very well, the agency is very well received, and they respect you a lot. I was talking with the folks there, and so I continue to appreciate the work that's being done in that area as well. That's it for me.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Chairman, I move that we adjourn.
I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn, and we're adjourned.